The filter-free diary.
Good morning. It's almost 8 in the morning. And I guess just get right to it. Okay, so before we were talking about spirit and feminine and the masculine. And we mentioned how spirit, being the base, the uncustomized foundation, is like bigger. Actually, we didn't say this, but I'm going to say this now. It's bigger than the layer that it supports, right? And then the feminine is a bigger layer than the layer it supports, which is the masculine, right? And then the masculine is a bigger layer than what it supports, because what comes after the number 3 is another number. It's not the end, obviously, right? It's the number 4. But the thing is, the number 4 isn't a new force. I mean, indirectly, it appears to be a new force, but it's actually a repeat. It's spirit. But this time, spirit turned itself inside out. Why did spirit turn itself inside out? Because it wondered what the fuck it was made of. Don't we all wonder what the fuck we're made of? Don't we all wonder why we want to do this and why we want to do that? And the only way to figure out why we want to do this and why we want to do that is to turn ourselves inside out and figure out what we're made of. And so that's what spirit did. And yes, number 5 is the feminine turning itself inside out, and number 6 is the masculine turning itself inside out. See, the thing is, spirit is bigger than the body. Believe it or not, it is. Some people think spirit is like this small little, no, spirit is really big. And people that see like auras, like colors around, a figure, I'm pretty sure they're seeing spirit. I don't see auras the way those people see auras, but every once in a while, when the background is a uniform color, like against a white wall, against a blue sky, against a big white cloud, something like that, I can definitely see what, to me, I call the spirit flame that engulfs a figure. And the weird thing is, when I'm looking at planes in the sky, I can see what I imagine must be their collective spirit engulfing the entire plane. Because people run the whole length, mostly. But yeah, so spirit is bigger than the body. And the body, obviously, is bigger than the mind, right? Because we think of the mind as being contained within the brain, even though that's just a physical reflection of it. The mind is not actually contained inside the brain, but you get to know that the brain is smaller than the rest of the body, right? Because the brain is contained in the body. Well, desire, or number 4, is even smaller than the mind. It has to be, right? Because the mind supports it. So most people, when they think of desire, they think of like the heart, what the heart yearns for. And that is very accurate. That is very close to being, that's the symbol. The heart is the symbol. And the reason the heart's the symbol is because we're talking about number 4. And the heart has the 4 chambers. In fact, if you know how the heart works, you know how those 4 chambers are mapped. The incoming chamber comes from the body. The last chamber goes back to the body. Number 2 goes to the lungs, and number 3 comes back from the lungs. If you map that all out with pluses and minuses, you get the chart of the number 4. It's literally existing in your heart. It's because it is the reflection, like we said, of the number 4. And it's the desire compass, right? Like, how do you explain it? I have always loved horses my entire life. Like, I can't explain why I like horses so much. I really can't. It's like this thing inside my desire compass. And whenever I am driving and I pass a cow farm, I don't really notice. But when I pass a horse farm, I wiggle and I almost go off the road because I'm not looking at the road anymore. I'm looking at the horse farm as I start to drive towards it on accident. Why? Because our compass, our desire, our number 4, leads us. And it really does. It'll lead me right off the fucking road into a ditch, before I get to the horse farm. So, number 4 is just spirit turning itself inside out. And the really cool thing about all the colors that turn themselves inside out is they are their complementary color. So spirit, being 1, being fire, being red, its complementary color is green. And when it turns itself inside out, it becomes number 4, and it's green. The feminine, being number 2, is orange. And its complementary color is blue. It turns itself inside out, it becomes blue. The masculine, being yellow. Its complementary color, interestingly enough, not purple. It's actually an indigo. Purple's a weird thing. We'll get there. But when the masculine turns itself inside out, bam, indigo. And indigo is my favorite color, interestingly enough. So, hope that was interesting. Have a great morning.